What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Raid the Shadow Legends video, and in this video we're back because we have some news that I was not expecting for, but that they are very exciting. This is on a personal level, but I want to share the experience and also talk about what's going to be the plan for the future based on that, because I think this is going to be something that a lot of people are going to be discussing in regards to their own progress. So that's why we're talking about this, so you can prepare for the future. So yeah, we're gonna cover a little bit of the champion training event and what happened, and then it will all make sense. But it's going to be important in regards to all these assassins that we are going to have events going forward, because remember, this collaboration is going all the way to close to April, at least. It's going to be a very long event, but yeah. Hopefully you are going to get guaranteed events for each of these champions, and you have to decide how you are going to approach them and how you're going to save your resources. So as always, if you guys like the information on these videos, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Raid Challenges content, and make sure to smash that like button like a boss. Okay, so before we start, we have here the announcement for the Dragon Tournament. This is requiring Sacred Order only. So we have a few options there. We're going to take a look in a second. And then we also have the Champion Training Tournament. So in regards to the Sacred Order, if we take a look at that specific faction, we got Alice for free. At least I would consider most people got it. We got Ezio. And for my account, I also have April, which a lot of people skipped on. Martyr, Vivaldi. These are champions that are a little bit old, but they can be very powerful. And if you started playing last year, you got very likely Arthur. So based on these legendary alones, you're going to be able to complete the dragon event without any problem, because Ezio can solo the dragon. The Dragon 20, if you go for Dragon 20, if you farm Dragon 20, you can put some regeneration on this guy, and the bombs alone, or the poisons, will be able to delete your enemies. And especially if you have the Arachno Elixir, it's going to be even easier. But if you're at the level of Arachno Elixir, it's not going to be a big deal. In regards to the rares, we have Deacon, we have Phoenix, we have Mordecai, that we can also use to complete this dungeon. So obtaining this Prism Shard, it's not going to be a problem. Should you save this Prism Shard? Maybe. This Prism Shard is going to give you the other guy, this Basim guy, and I'm not sure which is going to be the April of the Assassin's Creed, right? Which character will be delivered through a Titan event, but which champion it is, it's going to be convenient for us if you could skip it, right? So if you can get Basim from this upcoming Prism, that would be huge. Now the other question is, are we going to get a third champion chase on the third week of the Titan event? It seems like that is going to be the case, right? Because every time we have a Prism event, it's followed by another champion chase tournament. So that would be crazy. That would have 3 champion chases back to back. And in somewhat it makes some sense, because we're also supposed to get the Valentine's Fusion next week, unless they are going to delay it, but I don't think so. I think we're going to get an announcement for the Valentine Fusion next week. And once again, this might force us to participate on another Champion Chase event, which we are scheduled to have 2x on Voids. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. Okay, so going back to the main topic of the video. So I had 4,000 energy saved. If you don't save your energy, you should start, because that's the best way to play, is to save your energy and just use it on the events that really matter. And because of that, I skipped I did the Sand Devil without spending any gems. That was great. I skipped the Spider. The rewards are garbage anyway. But again, it's up to you to decide if you want to participate on the Titan event or not. And there was also another Fire Knight or Dragon event that I skipped. And again, it was great because you are saving energy and focus on the events that really matter. So 4,000 energy was enough to get around 6,000 points. But then I noticed that, okay, if I'm going to keep spending like this, I need some additional chickens. So I made the executive decision of opening my ancient shards. Yikes. So we were saving these. I was expecting not to open any shards for this Titan event, but yeah, I got trapped. And we are still having with the voids, we are still okay with the sacreds, so that's not terrible. But yeah, I opened my ancient shards, and guess what? We got him. So it's not even like I was chasing this guy. I was not even chasing. It was literally the first multi, the 10 first ancients I got. This guy was number 4. He was number 4. I was not expecting at all. My mercy was at 101 out of 200. And this guy pops exactly on the 4th place of the first multi. So it was really, really early. Really early. So again, it's not like I was even chasing this guy. I ended up opening my other ancients, not because I was looking for anything in specific. I was just looking for more chickens to save my energy. But there we go. We were able to get the Edward Kenway. And yeah, so again, this puts me into a situation where is this guy going to be the April O'Neil? Is this the guy that is going to be released through a Titan event? That is what I was expecting, because if you take a look at my spreadsheet with all the events, we can see right here that we have the Donny Titan event part 2, then we have the Donny Titan event part 3, we got the Granite Fusion, which now it should be the Valentine's Fusion, and then we got the April O'Neil event. So that's a big deal, because that means within the next 2 weeks or so, we are going to have an event for a guaranteed assassin. And I highly doubt that the assassin is going to be the void one, right? We have a void one that is here, so this is probably going to be a Aeropath character. And because his passive, like, is so good. If you have more accuracy than your enemies, they are not able to apply crits to you. And that's absolutely game-changing. That's meta-defining, as it will stop giving value to crit damage-based champions, right? So that's going to be huge. You can see from the reviews, this guy is pretty awesome. So yeah. So which one is going to be the champion that is going to be like April O'Neil? Is it going to be Bazim? I mean, Bazim is okay, right? He does increase damage and perfect veil and so on. And then he has this block active skills. And when you take a look at Edward is absolutely insane. He can one-shot people with this ability between the eyes. And with the second ability, he can steal buffs from the enemies, including block damage, unkillable, and so on. So both of these champions are a huge deal. I would say, like, I'm not gonna glaze for April O'Neil, but she's pretty solid. She's definitely very underrated. But I think both all 3 champions that we just mentioned are a little bit above her, right? We have the mythical one, the void one, and then Bazim. The block active skills is extremely solid, and then Edward being able to one-shot people right away, it's huge. So April O'Neil, she's great for control, but the other ones bring other levels of control plus damage, which April O'Neil brings no damage, but maybe you would say that, okay, she brings a better aura, and her A1 is absolutely busted as well with all these stuns and freezes and so on. So yeah. Either way, now this puts me in a position where I can skip one of the events, or I can go for a dupe of this guy and empower him. I'm not really sure if that's going to be the best way possible, but comparing to Raphael, I have not even built up Raphael because he's just not good enough. Like, without other turtles, he's not even good enough. But in regards to Edward and Basim, both of them will have value on their own, rather than Raphael, which is going to be great with the other turtle, but on its own is not like very good. So yeah, that's gonna be something that we need to pay attention to. Now, in regards to Edward, let's take a look at a few clips from other content creator and see where this guy can be extremely useful, because I think that will put into context which of these champions is going to be more relevant, if it's going to be Edward or if it's going to be Basim. We are going to take a look at a few clips from Boozer, which is official content creator for Raid Shadow Legends, and he has access to the test server, so he can test these champions before they are released. For Edward, is building him up with Stone Skin plus Lethal, and you can see that his attack is pretty high, but for a high-end player, this is not like that high, right? We are talking about 7,000 plus attack, then the crit damage is also very high at 360. Then we also have some accuracy, which is going to be important, and then we have close to 300 speed. So these are some solid numbers. Could they be high? Of course they could be high. And there is running with a 5-star soul, so that's going to be important as well. In regards to the relic, I think he's using the cat's gaze, and that's why his crit damage is a little bit higher than normal, and the attack as well. So this is all things to have into consideration, but you can see that he's using a banner that is not for like a specific set. So he could use, for example, Merciless to get even more attacks. So that's something that you need to have in mind, and if you have available, of course, you should take that option. Now we're going to take a look at a few clips where Edward is in action. And the main focus is going to be his main ability and also his second ability. The main ability is going to ignore Stone Skin and Shield, which is going to be awesome. And it also applies Block Revive, which is something that I really value nowadays, as it is so convenient and we face so many revivers all the time. And then the second ability is able to steal buffs from the enemies, which is absolutely overpowered. Plus, Edward also applies an Ensnare ability, a debuff, that will stop the enemies from gaining speed bar, which is absolutely insane. So Edward is going to be absolutely amazing for faction wars, for PvP, especially on offense. So yeah, we're gonna keep our expectations in regards to that. So let's take a look at this first clip where he's going to try to one-shot the ultimate Dead Knight. So let's take a look. Wow, look at that. 180,000 damage, block revived, and it got to Stone Skin and everything. Plus he applied the Ensnare to the other champions, so now they're going to be compromised as they cannot get a speed bar. So that's absolutely insane. On the second clip, he's going to try to do the same on Marius. Now, he doesn't have a Stone Skin or anything like that, so it's not going to be as impressive. But either way, because he's a defense damage dealer, Marius, that's going to have into consideration, because that will reduce the damage that he will take in the face. So let's take a look. There you go, then they got Ensnare, and now he also got a sheep from the Ensnare, which is fine, it's not a big deal, the sheep overall. Here we have a showcase of the second ability where he's going to steal the block damage from Odin, so that's going to be very important nowadays, also because of the different enemies that we face, Siegfried, Odin, and a few others that apply block damage, that, for example, that Naimi or whatever from the Sylvan Watchers. So that's going to be something to take into consideration. Let's take a look. So it stole the block damage, so it gave the block damage to Edward himself, increasing his survivability. And again, it deleted the entire team as well. So even the damage from the AoE is decent. It's not amazing, it's not like Predator level, but because you are stealing all the buffs from the enemies, that can be super convenient with the increase of your own survivability. Let's take a look at a few more examples where he's going to try to pop that Frey over there. So Frey, another very tanky champion, and once again she gets one-shotted and she is not able to revive, which is, again, once again, very, very useful for PvP. And for our last clip, we're going to take a look at Edward trying to one-shot Terras, which is absolutely insane if it will happen. So let's take a look. Wow, 110,000 against Terras, and now it cannot be revived. So when you're facing this combo of Mariska and Terras, it's going to be a great tool for you to safeguard your opportunities of winning, right? I think that's going to be the best way to put it. So yeah, the fact that I was able to get this guy is absolutely awesome. It might allow me to skip a very important like shard event or anything like that. And if it's a Titan event, that's going to be another 2 weeks or more, or 3 weeks that I can save of resources for upcoming events. rather than focusing on this guy, which is once again a very huge opportunity for me and for my own progress. And if you end up getting this guy, you can also take into consideration if you want to follow along or not. At the end of the day, it does not really matter because, let's be honest, I don't have the resources to build this guy, but it's nice to have something that we can focus on in the future. And because he's on the Banner Lords, that's another damage dealer that can bring some value for faction wars. And hopefully we'll have factions war-like PvP game mode in the future. But one can dream. And that's going to be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this give you a perspective on Edward and the planning for future events that we have coming forward. So, as always, if you guys like the information on these videos, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more raid challenges content. And I will catch you guys later.